fans up. Crank the fans up.
Exhausted. Went back for a dentist appointment. They didn't even do nothing. We stopped.
Jesus.
Went back. Got that key to work. Thought I was gonna get the car started. Nothing. I was like, damn.
He was like, oh, something's got to give.
I'm like, nothing. I'm exhausted. So I'm like, now I'm like, okay. Then I get back here. I'm like, all right, let's make some butter now. It seems like I'm not even doing that. I'm like, what is going on? So, you know,
Yeah, buddy. Alrighty.
but yeah,
Let me just make sure
ready
titles
to
are
do it.
updated. We are now about to broadcast. There you go.
Right? Ready.
Ready, Freds. Ready, Freds. Fucking hell.
Ready.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're gonna figure out the Yukon. It's not too bad. It's just stupid old school security. But
Exactly.
what?
You know, it makes me laugh. I wish they made it simpler. Like, you know, I'm kind of like, I don't want to get another Chevy that has this pass lock system. Like, good in theory back then, but as it ages and
I don't think it was good in theory, to be honest. I think they should have just done like a keyring like all the other manufacturers did. That's pretty much.
I thought that's how they did it. So I remember seeing the little resistor that used to hang out their keys.
Yeah,
Like, and then they try to make it look cool.
even the Mercedes, like the older Mercedes, like the ML, like 55 AMGs and shit like that, they all they had was a keyring. That was it. You know, it wasn't nothing crazy. That's why I'm like surprised as to why Chevy made it that much more complicated.
So no one can steal their cars, or not even the original, not even their owner can steal the car. You can't
But
even
it's
steal your
like,
own car.
but Mercedes at the time is a higher value car, and I've worked on Yannis and a couple others, and they're actually not that bad to wire. They're actually, I mean, granted there are a lot of wires. They're quite simple to access, and I found that intriguing as to how Mercedes engineered a lot of their cars back then. Like it's do remote starts, do anything. It's just you can feed wires wherever you want, do a hole through the box, make sure everything's nicely sealed, and that's it. It was like it's the best thing I've ever worked on as far as simple wiring. The remote start sucked because everything had its own channel. Like all the doors had their own channel and stuff. You had to relay everything. But other than that, it's actually quite simple. But
Yeah.
enough remote start talk. We are now live, reminiscing on the old days. I mean, I still do remote starts. I just don't care for it anymore like that. But yeah,
I believe every system should have a bypass or kill switch.
well they
But I
do,
know they do.
they do. I mean,
Should be a physical switch. That's sorry, let me rephrase that. They should make them a physical button. That's like a red button.
but then
So
people are gonna look at it like, oh, click, that's it, and that's why everything's like integrated. That's what it comes down to.
touche. Good point. Good point.
Yes.
Good point. That's valid.
So let's start off strong here. As far as the EV talk goes, well, first off, we are your hosts. Blake up north of me, and Rodney down south of him, obviously. In physically, reality, he's up north, I'm down south, literally. Ooh.
It's cold up here. So you know what? I'm in a grumpy mode. No, I'm just
Welcome to
kidding.
the ICE podcast. While EVs are the future, we're going to try to stay relevant to anything that has rotating assembly, fossil fuels, and oils. I mean, batteries, some of them get oil cooled, but that's more performance. Let's get right to it. First and foremost, Maserati's MC20 Folgore, teased after 5 years to be an EV project, is now canceled. Instead, they opted obviously for the GT2 project, but it was interesting to see how after they made the MC20, they were gonna try to do an all EV MC20, and that failed. Well, they didn't fail. They canceled it. They're opting out of it. You know, because the MC20
Yeah.
is what a 90 degree twin turbo V6 with pre-chamber technology from Formula One, more likely from their sister and their brother companies like Alpha and Ferrari that were in Formula One. So they share some technology with that. It boasts a good amount of power, a shit ton of torque, obviously, and carbon fiber chassis, yada yada, so on and so forth. And the GT2 went up on that as far as aerodynamic upgrades, brakes, center lock wheels, all the other stuff. I have not drive it, nor will I probably will ever get the chance to drive one. Hopefully in the future, who knows? But it is a nice looking car. It's reminiscent of the MC12 back in the day with the Ferrari V12, the 4.7 liter. So it's quite nice to see. But what are your thoughts as far as the Folgore's plans being canceled as far as an all EV MC20?
Feel as if they canceled it because they know it's going to hurt the MC20 name. I feel as if they're gonna make an EV, they probably need something that's more uh, for the people versus a all out EV sports car. Where I mean, granted, everybody's making an EV sports car. Porsche, Audi, Tesla should have to include those.
Mm.
But EVs are no longer like the narrative of the push. So I feel that a lot of them they're gonna get canceled and can, and some of them in theory are gonna be great cars. It's just will they give us those cars or are they going to just say, you know what, that car's not gonna make the cut or that project I should say.
I could see, I agree with you. I could see why it would hurt the MC20 name, especially if they're trying to pay homage to the MC12, which a lot of people will argue they built a better Ferrari than Ferrari back then, which is quite interesting to hear that out loud every single time I say that because it shared a lot of the same philosophies: mid-engine, V12, high revving, naturally aspirated, monocoque design, car. The
Yeah,
MC12 beat the MC12 was a better Ferrari than the Ferrari F50, which I always laugh at when I hear that, and whenever I hear people or I read, let's say, some magazines or watch some videos about how the MC12 was better or is or was better than the F50, I always laugh. So the fact that they brought back the MC20, cool for them. I like to see that. I like to see them bring back and pay homage to cars like that. Although it is not a long body style car like the MC12 was, but that's because it housed, a V12. So it makes sense that it's a
yeah,
shorter, but they kept to some of the design cues like the front fascia here with the open grille,
yeah,
the Maserati logo, the windlets going in. The design cues are there, definitely for sure. So the fact that they're going to make it
yeah,
EV, I agree with you, was probably going to kill the MC20 name because at least the MC20 has a combustion engine in it. And, twin turbo V6,
yeah,
90 degree V6, better center of gravity, better lower center of gravity boost. I think it makes 550 or 600 horsepower, something like that, and just about the same foot pounds of torque to the rear
well,
wheels with a believe a 7-speed DCT. I could be wrong. I'm more likely wrong. I'll search it up later. But
8 speed, I believe.
probably yeah,
Yeah,
8 speed. Yeah, because
close
the
enough.
the car that also shares a lot of similarities with the MC20 is Alfa Romeo's 33 Stradale. It's the homage to obviously the Stradale from back in the 60s, and it's very reminiscent of that for sure. And it uses what is it, overboard, let's say. It pretty much is because it goes from an 86.5 millimeter board to an 88. um their Alpha 690T engine. They just overboard it pretty much, and that's it. And it gets
Yeah,
bigger turbos, all this other stuff. But it is basically not the same car, but they share a lot of similarities as far as 90 degree V bank, twin turbo
yep,
V6, rear wheel drive, all that other stuff. So although people will say that oh they have the same engine, no. I don't know
Right.
about you, but the Alpha 33 Stradale doesn't have the cylinder heads that the Maserati has, and if they can't bolt onto each other, to me, they're not the same engine. So they're not the same
Yep.
engine. The fact that one of them used pre-chambered technology from F1, let alone tells you that they're not the exact same engine at all whatsoever. Um,
That's true.
but other than
That is
that,
true.
I do like the fact that they did axe the project. It would have been, it definitely would. You know what? It would have been hard to choose if you were looking for an MC20 if you wanted an EV or the twin turbo V6. Like because we have so
Yeah.
like
That actually would be tough.
because what do we have? We have the Rimac Navara, we have the Tesla Plaid, we have the Lucid, we have a bunch of other cars though
Yeah.
that are like fast EVs or like yeah fast EVs. A couple that are mid-engine
And
fast EVs. So
yeah, that mid engine. And you think about it. I mean, Tesla's been killing it with the Plaid lineup.
oh
So
for
it's like
sure,
they signified that. Then you got Hyundai with the N line, Kia
which
with the
they're killing
GT
it.
line
Yeah,
of EVs.
they're killing it like
Uh,
crazy.
so and I just want to point out one thing too. Like think about it. Like the BMWs, like the new hybrid platforms that they have.
Mm.
It's gonna take away the value of the internal combustion engine variant. Like so, I've read online, informed. Somebody said, I got this BMW, it drives good, I love it, but it's missing something. And I'm like, yeah, it's missing that driver's feel. Feels good because I mean that's everything you need to do,
Yeah,
but it's missing that feel.
I can see
So
what I agree with that, and I don't mind it being hybrid, but I feel like they will have to downsize a lot of engines to be hybrid, so that way they can keep their, I guess, pinnacle engines alive. So that way they
and the
don't.
weight,
Well, there's weight, so that's why I'm saying you have to downsize because, like, if you think about it, although the inline six they made it fairly light now, to
yeah,
slap a hybrid motor or something back to it, it's gonna add a lot of weight. So might as
I mean,
well just use the four cylinder and put it in those same models that the inline six is, and vice versa. But
yeah,
I like this decision.
yeah, not
Um,
definitely it's a good decision.
they have a MC Extrema that is basically an exclusively Maserati track car, but along with that, the GT2 project of the Maserati, like I said, like we have here, supposedly racier,
Yeah,
but I guess from a lot of videos I saw, it wasn't, I guess, that big of a difference, which is kind of a bummer. Looking at what you get, like I said, center lock wheels, updated aero, vented louvers, all this other stuff. You get a lot of aerodynamic upgrades, but and they got a 10 horsepower bump to 631 horses. So it's like, uh, it's alright, I guess.
it's like, oh, come on, it's like, what are they gonna put the budget towards now?
Exactly, because like, all right, the MC20 produces a 1,102 pounds of downforce at the same speed in the Stradale, thanks to the rear wing extended spoiler, reworked underbody diffuser, fender vents,
Yep.
and S-duct style front end that eliminates the MC20's frunk, and adjustable dampers,
Mm-hmm.
forged aluminum wheels. That's 42 pounds lighter. Center lock nut, you know, and then
Yeah.
the rear fenders, the intercooler, and the air intakes are larger, but they add all this largeness for a 10 horsepower bump, and fairly. I won't say the
That's
downforce numbers are a feat. Don't get me wrong, but for what is added
uh
on to make a GT2, it kind of to me is disappointing. But it's a nice
no,
looking
you're
car.
right. Yeah. No, it is a nice looking car. Definitely a nice looking vehicle.
I'll
It has
still,
the look. It's just
I'll probably still get an MC20, not the GT2 though. But I do like the MC20. I like it.
yeah, MC20 nice. MC20 shows a good case of evolution.
The way I look at it is the MC20 is a better NSX than the NSX. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, that was all starting out with the Honda boys.
I ain't trying to crack on Honda boys, but come on. Like as far as the recipe goes, like at least Besides it not having the V12,
Uh,
they stayed pretty true to what the MC is. Rear wheel
yeah,
drive, regardless of the power plant, it was rear wheel drive, internal combustion engine, made horsepower, revved, used technology from racing. It has that same silhouette design. Like it shared a lot of key features from what the MC20 was, besides like the engine. But the engine, you could argue that they could probably cram a V12 in there, which to me, you probably have to extend the body arches a little. That's why this MC20 has such a short wheelbase versus the MC12, which is a lot longer. But other than that, to me, it shares a lot more cues with its predecessor. It is it is a modern version take of it, which I love. They nailed it to me out of the park. There's a couple things as far as the edges of the bodywork that I didn't like from it, but
yeah,
it's it's well overlooked because of how it looks, the silhouette. So I can ignore that, or like I can be like, whatever, type deal, because it still reminds me of the MC12. Obviously when you start it up,
and
it don't sound like a naturally aspirated motor. It's a twin turbo V6, but no, I think they, to me, they built a better NSX than the new NSX. And what kills me about the new NSX is the fact, I mean, they obviously stopped making it, but what killed me about it was the whole hybrid situation. That's just, no. But
yeah,
because the whole point of the first gen NSX was the fact that it was super lightweight, and then they just went on and went full hybrid. So,
you know, I don't know what made them go with that route versus just keeping it naturally aspirated. Do something great like they did in the '90s, but they decided to go back and well, they wanted to try to reinvent the wheel. They wanted to be first,
of
I guess,
course,
in terms of bringing that technology. I guess even the what was it, the CRZ share some of that same technology.
the CRZ shit. I haven't heard from that in a minute. I forgot about that car in
Yeah,
a
the
while.
I build one if I could.
Fucking hell. But
That's
nah.
great.
On to the next. Since you love odd things,
Let's do it.
Winnebago camper trailers. It's not really odd. It's more of an American thing, but you get the idea. This
You
is
know what?
this is more of a you thing.
You know what? I'm glad. I'm glad you brought this up here. I'm happy. I'm here for it. Let me tell you why this is good. Winnebago has been making motorhomes for years. The name has become synonymous with like recreational vehicles. You think of an RV, you're thinking of a Winnebago. You always hear people, man, I want the Winnebago. I'm about to get my Winnebago and do this.
Mm.
So for them to expand now to campers, that's not only cool, but hopefully they can take some things they've learned while making these recreational vehicles
Mm-hmm.
and apply it to the trailer. Making it easy to maneuver or just maximizing the space in one of these trailers because I mean it looks pretty nice. I see it right there. It looks pretty nice.
Well, it's
I
definitely
wouldn't mind
large.
one of those
It's
myself.
it's definitely large. It's a new camper trailer, and it's also, since the new lineup, it's also Winnebago's cheapest options. And supposedly, news are saying that they're getting cheaper. And the paragraph starting is, "Are you fed up with unattainable recreation?" Oh man,
Oh man.
campers, overland travel trailers, off-grid rigs, adventure vans, and toy haulers that are ridiculously, excessively, ludicrously expensive? Question mark. For seasoned campers and newbies alike, access to the great outdoors, besides like literally stepping out the front door and taking a bike ride around the block, is limited by the high prices of an outdoor recreation gear. Simply put, the outdoor recreation is costly. The Winnebago Access, a new entry level dual axle travel trailer that doesn't look the part, is here to address that with a low price meant to give more people more access to enjoy adventures beyond the bike ride along the block, obviously. Its mission is in its name. and is getting even more affordable thanks to smaller, less expensive new versions being added to the lineup after the trailer's first launch last year. And these campers look sick. I'm looking at these pictures. I'm like, holy shit, that's nice. Almost looks
That
as
is
good.
actually nice.
That almost looks as good as my
That
kitchen.
was really nice.
My kitchen's obviously a lot better, but it looks almost good, almost just as good.
Yeah, no, it's nicer than a lot of people's homes. I'd say that.
And it comes with a lot of tech and amenities like a 12-volt water tank pad heaters, factory supplied 200-watt solar panel, 2-inch rear accessory, receiver hitch that could carry 350 pounds, and has Wi-Fi enablement. Like it has a stabilized jacks with 4 individual control panels, electric tongue jack. You know, it's a fully enclosed and heated underbelly. Like it has a lot of stuff for the price that it's given. $30,000,
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it's a lot of money, but at the same time,
For
it's worth it
thirty
because
thousand dollars,
you're getting a lot of utility out of it.
like yes, I'd rather probably buy a car than get a Winnebago. Me personally, you know. But if I was into all things that were wheels,
Yeah,
that's crazy. $30,000, you get a preloaded basically camper with all these what is it? These features and necessities. Some of these features heated on the
yeah,
belly, like is to me is crazy. But the fact that you get it for $30,000 is ridiculous. Electric tongue jack, power stabilization jacks with 4 individual buttons, control buttons, 12-volt water tank pad
yeah,
heaters. 200-watt solar panel. It has all this to prep Wi-Fi enable it, receiver hitches. Like it's crazy.
yeah.
It's nice. That's a
Good
nice
for that.
setup. Ah, that's a nice setup.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
How does it look? Oh wow, it literally
Oh,
looks
you
like
got
it literally looks
the
like
back
half a
door,
floor.
yeah,
You got
yeah.
the whole layout. Holy shit! That So does this extend, or is that like does that like like throw in and then when you're ready to camp throw out?
Yeah,
Maybe I might be off. I might be wrong. Let me see. Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'm off. I'm definitely way off. That's still that's still not bad at all.
That,
Jesus Christ! I can see you in a Winnebago. I'll tell you that much.
you better know it,
He said, "You better,"
and yeah, better know it.
and I'm
I
going
like
cross
it.
country, mofo.
I would love to go cross country in the Winnebago. It's actually the main reason why I started liking trucks because I mean you can tell anything with them. So I always figured instead of getting a camper you would drive, and then get limited where you got to bring the car behind you.
Uh-huh.
I can use my truck, so that camper. I don't get from my truck and then I'm free.
Especially with that 6.1 Hemi. Jeez.
Hmm.
All you need to do is reinforce that frame,
Yeah,
and boom, you
I'm
go.
ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to fly down the road, but I need to put 8 speed in it. Honestly,
Hey, who knows? Who knows what you would do, Blake? Even I don't know. But
yeah,
speaking of trucks and where you could tow with it, from the dirts to the dealerships, the 25 Chevy Silverado EV ZR2 concept is ready to race. Oh man, EV racing. So what will this enter? What do you think? The Dakar Rally, Baja, like
yeah. And like we put up better numbers than this company, Subaru. No, it's kidding.
yeah, right.
Let's see. I mean, it's a Silverado EV. Cool. I mean, it's interesting to see what they're trying to turn the ZR2 trim level into. It's like almost like they're trying to push it up the market.
Hmm.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah. But yeah, so it seems like they're trying to, yeah, they're just trying to push it up market so people think that the ZR2s are more than just a basic trim.
Of course. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame them. We
Well,
understand.
it's a tri motor with 1100 horsepower and supposedly 11,000 foot pounds of torque. That is wild. 11.5 thousand foot-pounds of torque. I never heard of that number before, unless it was a diesel. Even then, that's a lot. That's crazy.
11.5.
Right here, 11,500 foot-pounds of torque. Blake's like, I want one. I ain't never heard torque levels like that.
Yeah, in that case, I wouldn't mind one. You know, why not?
He said, I ain't never heard torque levels like that. Where's mine? I want mine right now.
I think I'll
Fucking
sign up.
crazy.
I think
Fucking
I'll sign up on the wait list.
sis, dude, yo. That's crazy.
I think I'll sign up on the wait list and say I definitely want to get it.
Fucking wild. These trucks, as far as like, I like the projects of like EV and like racing, but kind of want to hear a V8. But hey, maybe this will change my mind a little. But I don't. I still wouldn't get an EV truck for sure. That's just me. But
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing one of these race though, just to see what it can do. The fact that you're boasting five digit torque numbers is wild, and I want to see what that actually does for
yeah.
sure.
It's like I need to see how that thing's gonna actually launch.
Not only launch, let's say it gets to a rock, I want to see how that thing grabs, just goes. Whoop.
Yeah, it's true. No I.C.E. cars.
Fucking hell. Well, fucking let's wrap this up a little bit. Well, we're gonna wrap this up with one more thing, and then go to our favorite topics. Obviously, me and you, well, more you, but I am also a fan of pop-up headlights. And Bertone's new sports car wears them loud and proud. Fucking hell. When it's not busy keeping Lamborghini V10s alive, the new bespoke supercars like the recent GB110, Bertone made his debut car with a mid-engine V6 powered open-top runabout, making more than 400 horse and coming out in multiple charms of flavor. This reminds me of what the DeLorean should be modernized.
Yeah, it kind of gives me Dodge Viper, but it gives me Grand Theft Auto Banshee vibes with C4 Corvette, F body Camaro, Firebird. Like, I don't know, it gives me a lot of cars all in one. Slash Miata.
Nah, this definitely reminds me of like a DeLorean slash like Pantera, De Tomaso, like a lot of those like
Yeah,
old school cars.
yeah,
And
definitely. I've
it
seen
looks
this.
it looks somewhat futuristic too. It's like what if what it reminds me of? If like they did a Back to the Future car, this would definitely be one of them for sure.
Yeah, it'd definitely be a nice little car. One of those classic retro inspired cars that you collect. People will appreciate.
The 70s esque runabout of neo retro masterpiece, starting at 350,000 euros. Crazy, 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 crazy. Nah, this is
Yeah,
definitely nice looking though. Definitely nice looking.
no,
But yeah, yeah.
I like the side profile. Yeah, it's nice.
But yeah, that's all we got for today. This dude Blocky is Donzo.
Yeah, you know what? I am here and I'm not there, and I am here, but I'm over there. So I am here. But don't worry, we
You look
also
like
have
you
this
look like
one
you just
over here.
finished working a 12-hour shift. You about to knock out.
You know what? I know that feeling. We also have this one. I'll see if I can get him on the camera. Yep, yep, got him on the camera.
The
So,
little fellas, little
you know,
four-legged fellas. But we'll
yep,
do we'll do this short one because I don't want you trying to power through it. You know,
yeah. Uh, that's all me. That's all me, people.
yeah, it's all good. No worries. But it's alright. It's alright. We'll obviously what is it? We'll do a better one Sunday. This is just the nightly wrap up for the weekend.
Yeah,
So,
just making sure we recap on all the little news and the events going on in the car industry
because most
and all
most of the
the
news
different
always
things.
happens on the weekend. It's never really during the week sometimes. So,
Yeah, we'll have to see how the tariffs hit this weekend.
ooh, I saw that. I didn't
Yeah,
want to get into that yet. I was gonna save that for Sunday because that could be a long combo.
yeah, it's definitely be a long convo because some of our favorite cars, I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, we'll find a way. But
Well, Honda's
anywho's,
already said they're gonna, build a plant in the U.S. So
we'll see.
that's one way to look at it.
We'll see. But we are your hosts, and we'll catch you on the next one. Nice short Thursday roundup. Let's get it popping. Peace.